The US sanctions on China's semiconductor industry were meant to halt its rise, but instead, they triggered a technological revolution. By cutting off access to advanced chip-making tools, Washington aimed to freeze China's progress. The world expected Chinese tech giants like Huawei to falter. But China saw the sanctions as an existential threat and responded with a national mobilization. The so-called Sputnik moment for Beijing sparked a furious drive for technological independence. The measures meant to hobble China's tech sector became the catalyst for a state-led industrial revolution. China's goal shifted from buying the best technology to building it from scratch, no matter the cost. The sanctions, while complicating China's access to the most advanced chips, forced the nation to forge a new path, mastering different yet critical segments of the market. Instead of a crippled industry, Washington now faces a newly energized Chinese ecosystem, challenging the established order in ways no one saw coming. China didn't just react to the blockade, it launched a counteroffensive with massive state investment. Over $150 billion was funneled into building a self-reliant semiconductor industry, with the big fund at its core. In 2024, a record $47.5 billion was injected to accelerate the effort. New chip factories are rising across China at breakneck speed, 44 fabs in operation, 22 more under construction. The strategy: if China can't buy the most advanced tools, it will dominate by sheer volume. The investment isn't just in factories, but in mastering every part of the supply chain: equipment, materials, and innovation. By 2026, China is projected to lead the world in silicon wafer production, a foundational industry building block. The sanctions meant to bottleneck China have instead prompted it to create its own potential choke points, reshaping the global supply chain. Blocked from the most advanced chips, China pivoted to dominate the market for legacy semiconductors, 28 nanometers and older. These chips power electric vehicles, appliances, and industrial robots, the backbone of the modern economy. Backed by subsidies, Chinese firms produce these chips 30–40% cheaper than global rivals, flooding the market. By 2027, China could control nearly a third of global legacy chip production. This gives Beijing new leverage. In a trade dispute, it could restrict exports, disrupting global manufacturing. The US focus on protecting only the most advanced tech may have left the door open for China to dominate the broader ecosystem. The legacy chip gambit has flipped the sanctions policy, risking Western control over foundational technology. The world is waking up to the strategic power of these workhorse chips.
Moore's law is slowing, making further miniaturization costly and exclusive. The industry's focus is shifting from cutting-edge chips to advanced packaging and high-volume production. China's strengths in mass manufacturing and supply chain integration now matter more than ever. Most chips aren't for supercomputers, they're for cars, appliances, and sensors where cost is king. China's ability to produce these at scale is making it a dominant force. As the world gets smarter, demand for foundational chips will surge, cementing China's central role. Western giants like Intel and Nvidia face a two-pronged threat. Export controls limit their China sales while Chinese firms undercut them on price. The chip industry is shifting from a race to the top to a battle for the broad middle ground, a fight China is poised to win.
The very structure of the global chip market is being remade. US sanctions have backfired, ushering in a new era of global tech rivalry. The balance of power is shifting. US leadership is no longer guaranteed.
China's pivot shows that a determined state with capital and strategy can chart its own technological course.
The release of Huawei's Mate 60 Pro, powered by a domestic 7nm chip, proved China's rapid progress.
Policymakers now face a dilemma: tighten controls and risk a tech iron curtain, or relax and risk losing their edge.
The dream of a single global tech market is fading, replaced by competing spheres of influence.
The outcome will shape the 21st century economy, international relations, and the pace of innovation. The chip war is far from over. Its next chapter is just beginning.